Thank you, Ken. And let me just take a minute, first of all, to thank Farmers Union and Tom Bias for their great support of agriculture, period. Tom's been a very close ally as we work not just through the Farm Bill, but through all the issues that involve agriculture all across America. And to that organization, we owe a debt of gratitude for their support, their counsel, their advice, as we proceed to try to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure rural America remains strong and that agriculture in America remains the #1 industry. I was looking over the weekend at the USDA Economic Research Service numbers that have just been released, and what they're showing is that we're going to have a record high net income of $95.7 billion projected income for this year, and that's pretty good. That's certainly an increase. But here's what disturbs me. The estimates on production expenses are rising more dramatically than the net income. The ERS is forecasting that production expenses will rise by $40.4 billion from the 2007 levels and reach a nominal record high of $294.8 billion this year. And keep in mind that that's $40.4 billion estimated increase follows a $20 billion increase in 2007. And let me just give you a couple of numbers here that show what our farmers are facing every single day as they go from planting phase to the nurturing stage to the harvest stage. From 2006 to 2008, the price per ton of standard 5, 10, 15 fertilizer increased from $268 per ton to $420 per ton. The ton price of 30% nitrogen increased from $278 to $478. Cost of seed corn per bushel increased from $95 to $150. Now this is just over a 2-year period. Now, I've got a farmer in Georgia, a good friend of mine named Bob McClendon, and I talked to Bob the other day about his particular operation and what he's facing, and this is from the practical aspect of the day-to-day operation of a farm. Bob is a diversified row crop operator in the southwest part of Georgia. Bob says that his pumping of water for his pivots, which in our part of the world is critical. If you don't have an irrigated crop, you are really taking one heck of a chance in the southwest part of our state. Bob's increase from last year over this year, just on the cost of pumping water, has gone from $90 per acre to $150 an acre. And that's directly attributable to the increase in the price of diesel. What Bob worries about most is that we know that commodity prices are cyclical. They're good right now. We would hope that they would stay where they are, but all of us involved in agriculture know that's not going to happen. So what do we do about these significant input costs? Because everything we're looking at, from diesel to gasoline to nitrogen to fertilizer, are all directly related to one issue, and that's the cost of petroleum. The energy issue is a driving force in our economy nationwide. It's certainly the driving force in the economy of agriculture. That's why Kent Conrad and I sat down and started talking about the issue of energy and what we could do as federal policymakers to try to not just stabilize the energy prices in this country, but hopefully move them in the direction of decreasing. And that's why I'm very pleased that we were able to come together in a bipartisan way and present a proposal that's now being crafted into legislation that we will have on the floor next week for debate and hopefully a vote very early on a proposal that will move us in the direction of energy independence. It's not a perfect bill. It's not the sole answer to our problem, but it is a giant first step in the right direction of making sure that the next generation of farmers, which I have a son-in-law and grandchildren that live on a farm and actively farm in my home county, and I want to make sure that Joe, as well as John and Leah, have the opportunity to continue to operate that farm and that they don't have to face the energy issues that farmers are facing today. This proposal that Ken alluded to, it really has three parts to it. It has a production part. We're focused around the increase of domestic production, particularly looking at offshore drilling. Second part is we're focused on increased production of nuclear electricity. And thirdly, we're focused on addressing the demand issue and moving us away from having such a huge dependence on foreign imports for our needs. And when we accomplish that, then we're not only going to see prices stabilize, but we're going to see energy prices hopefully begin to decrease.